Alright, now let's go to question 11. So as for question 11, we've got 1450 minus 550. Now this one's a quite straightforward question, as all we have to do is basically subtraction. So we're going to say 1450 minus 550. So starting with the very last two digits, we've got 0 minus 0, which is going to be 0. 5 take away 5 is going to be nothing or 0. 4 take away 5 is going to be, hang on a second, 4 is less than 5, so in this case we have to borrow the 1 from here, and this is going to turn into 14. So as a result, 14 take away 5 is going to be 900. Finally, we're going to include within the content of the treasure chest inside here 900 coins. Okay, quite a vivid imagination, right? In this case, we're going to add again addition, but in this case, it's going to be slightly tiny bit different. So we go 3 over 4 plus 2 over 3. Now, in this case, we cannot add these two different fractions together because the numbers on the bottom, which are called the denominators, as we discussed before, are not the same. So what I'm going to now introduce to you is going to be a trick, which I actually call the hat trick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the two numbers, I'm going to multiply them together. So 3 times 4 is going to be 12, so I'm going to write down two fractions. I'm going to keep on the denominator the number 12. Having said that, I'm going to try to draw two hats above these numbers. I'm going to ask myself, how many times does the 4 goes to 12 is going to be 3. And how many times does the 3 goes to 12 is going to be 4. Then I'm going to multiply 3 times 3, so the answer is going to be 9, and then 4 times 2, which is going to be equal to 8. Now, from our first observation, we can now tell straight away that the two numbers on the bottom are the same, so we can now add those two numbers on the top, or also well-known numerators. So 9 plus 7 is going to be equal to 17. Next question. In this case, we have to do 1477 divided by 100. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to count those two zeros. I'm going to say how many zeros do we have. We got 2 zeros, and then I'm going to draw an imaginary dot. And because we're trying to do division, we're going to shift the dot into 2 places on the left hand side. And as a result, the answer is going to be 14.77. Another right, easy peasy, a lemon squeezy. Next one. The next one we have to evaluate, and we have to find what are the 3/4 of 2000. Now everyone, please bear in mind that there is more than one possible way to solve this question. So the way I'm going to tackle it is I'm going to simplify the 2000 with the 4. So how many times does the 4 goes to 2000? It's going to be 500. In this case, what we have left is only 3 times the 500, so the answer is going to be 1500. Great. Oh, ooh la la. Now we're going to go through the 3/4. So what we're being asked is how we can actually convert a fraction into a percentage, because this one over here is called the percentage sign. Simply we have to multiply this fraction with 100. I told you, right? It was very, very easy. So once again, there are way too many ways on how to solve this multiplication. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify the 100 with the 4. So I'm going to ask myself, how many times does the 4 go to 100? And the answer is going to be 25. So 3 times 25 is going to be 75. And since we have been asked to write down this fraction into percentage, we have as well to include the percentage sign next to the number. So the answer is going to be 75%. Oh, okay, so in this case, once again, we have to use the bus shelter method. So I'm going to write down the number, the smallest number outside, and then I'm trying to draw a bus shelter. Of course, it's not great, but I think I can still do the work. Now, I'm going to ask myself, how many times does the 25 goes to 15? think that's not possible because 25 is bigger than 15, so I'm going to take one more number over here. So I'm going to ask myself, how many times does 25 goes to 152? Now, we know that 25 times 4 equals to 100. 25 times 6 equals to 150. So in this case, I'm going to write the 6 on top. I'm going to say 25 times 6 is going to be 150. Everyone, do not forget the minus sign over here. So 2 minus 0 is going to be 2. And then 15 take away 15 is going to be 0. And what I've got left is going to be here 5, so I'm going to draw the 5 on the bottom. Now what I've got left is we're going to ask ourselves, how many times does the 25 goes to 25? The answer is going to be simply 1. So 25 minus 25 is going to be 0. So the answer, 1525 divided by 25 is going to be equal to 61. The next up we're going to have a multiplication, but in this case it's going to be slightly more complicated and different through our normal way. So we're going to write down 432 times 38. So 8 times 2 is going to be 16, we write the 6 and then we keep the 1. 8 times 2 is going to be 24 plus 1, and we're going to scribble it because we have used it, it's going to be 25. So we write the 5, we keep the 2. And then 8 times 4 is going to be 32. We're going to scribble the 2, so the answer is going to be 34. Now, the next one is going to be 3 times 2, and we're not going to write down the number over here, but we're going to leave some space, and we're going to write down the answer over here, below the 5. So 3 times 2 is going to be 6, 3 times 3 is going to be 9, and then 3 times 4 is going to be 12. So 6 plus nothing, it's 6. 5 plus 6 is going to be 11. We write the 1 and we keep the 1 over here. 4 plus 9 is going to be equal to 13. Plus 1 is going to be 14. We write again the 1. And then 3 plus 2 is going to be equal to 5. Plus 1 over here is going to be 6. And then we've got 1 plus nothing over here. So the answer is going to be simply 1. So 432 times 38 is going to be 16,000 times 416. The next one is going to be the addition of a mixed fraction with another proper fraction. So how can I solve that? So we go over here to 2 over 5 plus 3 over 5. Now, someone will say, you know what, hang on a second. If you got 5 and 5 on the bottom, so we should be able to add them together. However, we need to convert this mixed fraction into a proper fraction. And in order to do this one, we're going to say 2 times 5 is going to be 10. And then 10 plus 2 is going to be 12. So we're going to write down the 12 on the top. So this is going to be an improper fraction. And then we're going to keep the 5 on the bottom. Plus 3 over 5. Now everyone, as you can see over here, we got both of the numbers on the denominator the same, so we're going to write again the 5 on the bottom, and then we're going to say 12 plus 3 equals to 15. Aha, eureka! And since 15 can be simplified with 5, we're going to say that 5 lots of 3 of them can actually fit in within the 15, so 15 over 5 is going to be equal to 3. Next question is going to be the calculation of decimal number, which is 27.5 times 200. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is basically I'm going to write down 27.5 times 200. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to say to myself, because I want to move this dot over here, so that will make this the multiplication much more easier, I'm going to utilize one of these zeros over here, which will allow the dot to be shifted after the 5 is going to be written over here, which will then be pronounced as 275 times 20, which will make our multiplication much more easier. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to go somewhere here on the corner. I'm going to say 275 times 2. So 5 times 2 is going to be 10. I'm going to write this, so I'm going to give it a 1. 2 times 7 is going to be 14, plus 1 is going to be 15. I'm going to write that 5, I'm going to give it a 1. And then 2 times 2 is going to be 4. Scribble the 1, it's going to be equal to 5. So the answer is going to be 550. And because we have as well the 0 over here, so the answer is going to be 5,500. And at last but not least, we're going to do the division of 3 over 5 divided by 7 over 4. Now, this small tiny trick, instead of trying to divide those different fractions, what we can do is we can again write down the fraction as it is, 3 over 5, and then we can actually change the division into multiplication, and then trying to flip the fraction, so the 7 will go on the bottom and the 4 will go on the top. So the 7 will go on the bottom, then the 4 will go on the top. So in this case we're going to have 4, and then over here we're going to have 7. In this case it's a simple multiplication of 3 times 4, so the answer is going to be 12. At the bottom we're going to have 5 times 7, and the answer is going to be 35. Everyone, arigato gozaimasu. So, if you're happy with what you've seen, please do share with your friends. And if there's anything that is quite challenging, slightly hard for you, please come back to me, comment me, and I should be able to give you some more tutorials relevant to your questions. But you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to include the answers within the video tutorial so everyone can actually have a look at it. Thanks for your time, and I wish you a beautiful